All right, so here we go. This is the Math Counts Target Round 2018. 5, 6, 7, 8. So A and B, Aiden and Bryce, are off to the races. All right. Lana Del Rey stuck in my head. They begin together at the starting line, and A's car completes the lap every 44 seconds. Bryce's car completes the lap every 40 seconds. How many seconds after they begin the race will A and B first reach the starting line at the same time? Well, the first thing I notice is, well, that's a 4-second difference, right? Well, okay, so that means that every lap, Bryce is 4 seconds ahead, right? And that will continue in that manner. So, all right, how many laps is it going to take for them to catch up to each other? That is the big question. So, well, how many times does 4 go into 40 seconds? Because it's 40 seconds. Well, that's 10. So that means that after it's going to take 10 seconds or 10 laps. So it's going to do 10 laps because of that 4-second difference, right? And that means Bryce is going to go 11 laps. So on his 11th lap and his 10th lap, they'll be at the starting line again. All right. Well, okay. So what's 10 times 44? That's right. It's 440. So we have 440 seconds. All right. That one was quick. Oh my gosh, more words. Dev is watching an online movie that's playing for 2 hours and 18 minutes, not including the ads. But you have an ad, the 30-second ad before the movie starts, and then one 30-second ad every 10 minutes. And so, oh geez, this is hours and this is minutes. And the question is, what is the total viewing time if she watches every ad all the way through to the end of the movie? So I need to convert the hours into minutes, so that's 120 for 2 hours plus 18, so that is a total of 138 minutes of viewing time. So then, how many groups of 10 minutes go into 138? Well, that's 13.8. That's so we don't get to the 14th ad, or do we? So divide that by 10, and so there are 13 ads throughout the movie. However, that does not include the ad that starts at the beginning. So we have to add the ad that she has to watch in the beginning, so that's 14 total ads. 14 ads at 30 seconds apiece. Well, that's going to be 7 minutes of viewing time. So that means we have a total of 145 minutes, and the question is, what is the question? What percent of her total viewing time does she spend watching ads? So we have 7 minutes of ad time divided by 145 minutes of actual watching the video or the movie time. And so we get 4.8%. Because 2, this 2 right here, is less than 5, so you round down. All right. Let's go 7 and 8. Here we go. Ooh, I love this problem. So geometry problems tend to be fun. It's kind of weird. I don't love geometry, the course, but I love geometry math count problems. All right. So we have 4 congruent circles. They all have a radius of 2. So that means the area of one triangle is 2 squared pi. So the area of one is 4 pi. And it tells us that we want to express the answer in terms of pi, which means I don't have to multiply by 3.14. And we have this odd situation, right? So I'm looking at this, and man, I would really want all of the shaded regions to be inside one circle. Now, I notice that this shaded region here and this shaded region here is inside this circle, right? So I want to get everything in terms of that one circle of outline and group. Well, this section is the same as this, so I can shade this into it, right? But now I have this uncomfortable thing where I have this little football-like shape. And not only do I have that football-like shape, I have this little hump here and this little hump. I need straight lines, right? So, well, I could, from the center, I could draw a straight line across. Okay, so this line is showing half the circle, right? That's the diameter. Well, and I have this little brow here and this little brow, and together they make this. So if I take this piece here, and this piece here, that can go to here to create this. Therefore, I have half the circle shaded, and so half of 4 pi is 2 pi. Yes, it really is that simple. Normally when you get a problem that's quick, the next one's going to be a bear. All right, so here we go. In the equation, y equals 3 minus the square root of 4 minus x over 2. What is the sum? So I'm adding all the integer values of x. Integer, so we only look for whole numbers. That will make y a non-negative number. All right. So what do I know about square roots? Well, I know that what's inside the square root cannot be negative, because then we get into imaginary numbers. We don't want that. So that means that as soon as x gets greater than 4, it doesn't work anymore. Now x can be 4, because 4 minus 4 is 0, and 0 divided by 2 is 0. The square root of 0 is 0. That'll still give us y is equal to 3. 3 is an integer. So we're good with that, right? So the largest number we can have is 4. What about the smallest possible number? Well, and it tells us we want y to be positive, non-negative. So that means this whole thing right here has to be worth less than 3. Now, we don't have to have a whole number inside here, but we need to know it has to be less than 3. Now, it can be 3, because 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 is not negative. It's neither negative or positive. So, okay, so that means that 4 minus x over 2, if we take the square root, has to be well, 9, right? The square root of 9 is 3. So that has to equal 9. All right, so let's do a little math. So we multiply everything by 2. So we get 4 minus x is equal to 18. All right, so that means x has to equal, or in this case, be greater than negative 14. So all of the integers from negative 14 to 4 will work. Well, okay, so I want the sum of all of the numbers between negative 14 and 4. Well, the first thing I realize is the numbers between negative 4 through 4, they will just cancel out and make 0. So I don't need to worry about them. But I do need to add the numbers negative 14 all the way to negative 5. And so I'll take the calculator and let's go for it. So 14 plus 13 plus 12 plus 11 plus 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5. All right, so the sum is 95. They're all negative, so therefore the sum of all of them is negative 95. Oh, that's not half bad, is it? All right, there you go.